Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Sarnoff, you're recognized.
a point of privilege, sir. Under zoning ordinance section 1200, 1204, and 904, as an officer of the City of Miami, I'm allowed to ask the city administration, and I'd like to do this actually in a little more collegial way. I'd like to get the commission to ask the zoning administrator and or the planning director through the city manager to address and respond in writing to the following questions. Number one, is retail space a characteristic of use where characteristics of use are defined in section 1107, such as signs, off-street parking, loading, lighting, landscaping, or similar matters? I'd also like the following questions answered. Is a large retail store a permitted use or permitted by special exception in the NCD 3 district? Number two, where the owner of a retail site that has been vacant and not operational for more than 1 year, Zone C1 and located within the NCD zoning district, seeks to operate a large-scale retail establishment of approximately 70,000 square feet, is such use prohibited as a non-conforming use? If the answer is in the negative, is the new large-scale establishment otherwise required to obtain a special exception pursuant to section 803.6.3 of the zoning code? Thirdly and finally, is the NCD 3 Coconut Grove Neighborhood Conservation District intended to apply to all uses, buildings, or only to new uses and buildings? Can I get that response in writing?
I just wanted, did we close out on the shopping cart thing?
Was this on the agenda?
No. No, I asked for a point of privilege.
Okay, but I'm just saying, did we close out on Commissioner Regalado's item? I just want to be clear.
Oh, I said it had nothing to do with it. Yeah.
No, we're done with that.
Hey,
we're done with that. They're going to come back with...
So did I get a yes from the city attorney that they will come back? Because I wanted a date in which to know when we're going to come back on the issue of the shopping cart. I at least wanted to wrap that up, and that did not happen. Because it's an issue in my district, so that's the reason why I'm asking to make sure we come back with an answer on that. I never got a response back from the city attorney, and I'd like to get a date in which we can do that.
Well, the instruction should be to the city manager and the city attorney to work together to bring to you a proposed ordinance that you would take a look at, and then upon taking a look at it, then you can direct us to advertise it, put it through for public hearing, and that a whole lot of the research, like Commissioner Regalado had said, has already been done. We know the statutory provisions, we know what the county does. We've been dealing with this issue now for a number of years, so I would think that within 30 days we should have to you a proposed ordinance for you to consider authorizing us to advertise it and place it on the agenda for the 2 readings that are necessary.
So in June we can look forward to seeing the ordinance on that issue.
Yes, you certainly can.
And if you can, there's a couple things that I'd like to maybe perhaps, or my staff would like to share with you regarding that ordinance, because it is an issue in my district, and there's some creative things that I think can work that are working in other cities.
I'm sure the city manager would ask its net office and its code enforcement and solid waste to work with us in developing all the standards and all the issues, because we would need to get direction from the city manager on how he wants to manage this program, that it's in essence a program that's being created by this ordinance.
Thank you. So I wasn't trying to interrupt. I just wanted to be very clear on this.
Can I get control of this agenda? Please? Can I just get control of this agenda? We still need a motion and a second for
this item.
Of this item. There isn't a motion. There isn't a second.
So moved.
There's a motion by Commissioner Spence Jones. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner Regalado.
Thank you.
No further discussion. We've had plenty of it. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone in opposition having the same right say nay. Motion carries. All right. So where do we go from here?
I asked you for a point of privilege, and you granted it to me.
Go ahead.
Okay. Would you like me to go back over it, Mr. City Manager or City Attorney?
What was that directed? What was that?
I'm asking...
It was a series of questions to the administration that the Commissioner is asking for us to provide responses to.
Okay.
Correct.
Can he just turn over that list to you and you do that? That's it?
Yeah, the only problem is that Commissioner Sarnoff has invoked and has gotten this City Commission involved on an issue that it is in litigation. All of the questions that the Commissioner has asked, either he or someone involved in the litigation process has already asked, and the City, under the direction of the City Attorney's Office, have chosen not to answer, because this goes to the heart and to the issue of the strategy that the City is pursuing in the litigation that has been filed against the city by those individuals who are disgruntled with the Home Depot situation. So while Commissioner Sarnoff is all within his rights to do whatever he deems appropriate for himself and his constituents, I would suggest to you that my advice to the administration would be not to answer those questions, because precisely answering those questions, they are the questions that are the gravamen, or they are the issues being raised in the lawsuit. And for that matter, why go to court? Then decide this issue outside of court.
Well, understand, Mr. City Attorney, I'm only trying to be within the purview of my duties as an officer of the City of Miami. And if you're somehow instructing that that shouldn't occur, then just go on the record and state that some point of privilege or some point of order is in order, and if I need to bring this as a motion, I will. But I don't think I even need to do this in a public setting, but I'm doing it out of a collegial attitude in front of everyone to suggest that this is the answers to questions that are allowed under our procedure of government to get answered by the commissioner in writing.
Well, again, this is an issue that perhaps we need to discuss. Commissioner Sarnoff, you asked me, someone involved in the litigation, I believe the attorney representing the interest of the individuals opposed to the Home Depot, basically phrased almost the identical questions that you have raised, and they were elevated to the zoning administrator. The zoning administrator consulted with us, and the zoning administrator has issued a response to that letter. Now, to circumvent that process and to put the administration in a position of having to answer those questions, which are technically legal questions that are the subject matter of the lawsuit, I think places a city and places your city attorney in an awfully precarious situation. I do not want to wrestle with the commissioner. The commissioner has the right to ask what he wants. He has invoked the authority of the city commission. He would need two of you to go along with him in order for that to be an official order that the administration would have to answer. I would not object to that. If the city manager is giving a direction by the commission, the city manager has to obey it. My choice, and as your attorney, I'm asking you not to concur with the honorable commissioner in this regard. This is a heated lawsuit that's being debated in the courts, and the merits of the lawsuit, my suggestion to you, notwithstanding the agenda that the commissioner is pursuing on behalf of his constituents, is to let a court of law rule on the facts and on the law.
Well, I'm going to make a motion then. I'm going to make a motion to ask the planning administrator to provide us the written responses to the questions I asked.
All right, there's a motion. Is there a second?
I will second that for discussion.
No, there isn't going to be no discussion. Not from me.
No.
We're ready for a vote.
Here's the thing. Here you have the conflict of the powers of an elected official. And what you say, it's a court case. Now, the question that comes to mind is, for whatever litigation are we forbidden to get information on a single matter? Suppose that we want to, again, openly discuss the fire fee. Fire fee. We are in litigation. It's hotter than the Home Depot. Suppose that we want to get a discussion on the FTIA legal cases that we still have pending. That is a very hot item because we have like 10 to 15 suits pending that could cost the city a lot of money. So what I don't understand is how can we not perform the duties of a member of a zoning quasi-judicial board